What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? I didn't expect everybody to be on here. This is just the last minute thing, but happy. First of all, roll tide, everybody, and happy draft day two. Boy, boy, boy! I haven't seen that minute. What's up, DSG8? But man, I'm in this thing today. Listen, we're only going to be on here for just a few minutes because part two, round two of the NFL draft is coming up in a few minutes. I got to be there. And as we say around the church, I want to be there before the Saints go marching in. I got to be there. What's up, DSG? My man. What's up? What's up with you? How's your day? I hope everybody's had a good day. But man, I just had to, come on here and say a couple of things. I had to come over here and say a couple of things about this draft from last night. Man, my head is still spinning. I'm being honest with you. I was in shock last night, and that was just something to see. You know what I'm saying? That was just something to see. But that was all right. That was all right. DSG, I had a pretty good day. I don't mind being transparent, but I did something today that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I actually went and applied, got my passport. I did that. I sure did. I did that. So I've had a good day today. I'm slowly getting me together and doing some things I want to do, but at the same time, I'm taking care of business too, to make sure that my family is looked out after, to make sure that my family's looked out after, to make sure that I'm doing some things that I want to do at this stage in my life. Now I'm about to tell you this, and then we're gonna get on with some football stuff. And whether if you're live, listen to it, that's cool and fine. If you hadn't made it to the chat, all that good stuff. But here, Piano Man out. I applied for my passport. That's being sent off. I get that back in a few weeks. All cool and everything. Well, tomorrow, the Lord willing, I have had this lifelong obsession with. I have had this lifelong obsession with scuba diving. Yeah, I love water. I love swimming. I love diving. Whenever I watch the Olympics, I'm always keeping up with the swimming and the diving and things like that. And then I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I used to when the late Jacques Cousteau would come on, I never missed an episode of the Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau. And it was then that I developed this thing for scuba diving. Well, I'm about to launch that as well. So the point that I'm making is this right here. And then we're going to talk about football. The old adage is, you only live once. I disagree with that. You live every day that God gives you. Every day that God gives you, you live. Every day you live that God, every day you live, God gives you, you're living. The crazy thing is you die one time and that's it. So every day that you live, every day that God gives you, man, why don't you do something that you want to do? You keeping everything 100, you keeping it a buck and everything. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. Do some things that you like to do. Accomplish some things. As I said today, don't die on the vine. Don't just get out there and just not do anything and say, well, I'm at this stage of life, I might as well sit down. No, the devil is a lie. Continue to be productive, continue to prosper, continue to do those things. Fulfill your dreams, go after your dream, dream some more. As long as God gives you breath, as long as God gives you life, as long as God gives you strength, man, get out there and accomplish something and shake the haters off. And sometimes your biggest haters is your own mind. Okay, so that's for tomorrow. Is to I'm getting back. I'm just get inquire about being a certified diver. I'm not letting age or anything else or stop me from fulfilling a dream or going after it. I'm just going after it. I'm going after it. And if anybody stops me, it's basically going to be me. It won't be you or anybody else. It'll be me. So y'all pray for Piano Man. A friend of mine said, "You really want to do that?" Yes. I want to go and look for sunken treasure. I want to go see what's up under there. I've always been inquisitive. I've always been like that. So I guess the point that I'm making is find that something that you've always wanted to do. You hadn't accomplished it. And if God is giving you some means, giving you time, giving you space and everything, and that desire is still there, go for it. And guess what? If you're on here, you see this and you want to come to Piano Man's channel and let's talk about it, then let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Now let's hop to football. Man, last night was, look. Now, DSG, let me see what you just said. I said this about Shedeur the other day. I didn't think he was all that. You sure did. You said it, my brother. You said it. But after looking at his numbers, they wasn't bad. With an O-line, I believe he would have passed for over 5K. This is true. This is true. Here's my only problem with last night. Here's my only problem with last night with Shedeur. And, Shedeur's not the only one who did not get picked, who was first round prospect, projected to go first round. You had a lot of them that were there that were supposed to have gotten picked first round, and they didn't, including Jalen Milroe, including, I can't remember who all was back there in the green room. But here we go. My problem is when what's up, Dwight, my producer? You sneaky today, Piano Man. Listen, ain't no telling when I might show up. Ain't no telling where I might show up either. But anyway, what's up? Everybody say hello to Dwight. That's my producer. That's the dude that keeps it happening for me. But listen, my only problem, and I'm not trying to create no waves, I'm just calling it like I see it. When the Giants took Jackson Dart, and when you begin to compare stats, Jackson Dart's QB rating was in the high 60s. Shedeur Sanders' QB rating was in the mid 70s. But here's the problem with all of that. Dable wanted Dart. They wanted Dart. Exactly. DSG. Shedeur had a 77.8. It was either 77.8 or it was, let's put it like this. It was between 75 and 78% QB rating. And Shedeur had a worse O-line. Shedeur's O-line for the last 2 years was horrible. Horrible. I'm calling it for what it is. It was bad. But yet he had a good QBR percentage. His running game really wasn't all that, but it wasn't bad. But their knock on Shedeur is that he took too many sacks. Well, first of all, Shedeur is not a runner. Go look at his 40 time. That's not his thing. He's not, as they would say, he's not fleet of foot like his dad was. He's not. Shedeur, that's not his forte. But when it came down to passing, whether it was short yardage, long yardage, Yeah, there it is, 75.5. Go look up DSG. Now go look up Jackson Darts. According to what I found last night, Jackson Darts wasn't there. But the point that I'm making is a lot of this have to deal with what a coach or the GM or management, however you want to put it, is what they want or is who they want, this, that, and the third. Now, I'm not going to get off into this character thing and so forth and so on, because I think a lot of times we get character and persona confused. We'll look at a person's persona and think that that's their character. That's not necessarily true. Some people have this particular persona that they carry, and they think that that's a person's character, that they're this awful person. I don't think that that's true. Now, that's what the media is trying to make it out to or suggesting that Shedeur is this character flawed person. Well, if you really want to know the truth about it, we all have character flaws. All of us do. We have character flaws of some sort. But that shouldn't stop you from putting the best person or choosing the best person for your squad. But the other, like I said, but the other part of that is they wanted Dart. Now, if you sit back and if you watch the draft, what is so funny is basically after a while, even the talk about Jalen Milroe calmed down, and it was all about Shedeur. See, Dart was 69.3. That's a kind of a gap there. But however, check this out. Here, I'm about to read to you 9 names. 9 names. Jalen Milroe, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Show, Riley Leonard, Quinn Ewers, Will Howard, Curtis Rourke, and Kyle McCord. Those are the quarterbacks that are still available. But mostly what we heard about last night was either, for a while, was Jalen Milroe and Shedeur Sanders. But very little talk about Kyle McCord. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, I know. He was the one that left Ohio State. Remember? Will Howard. Oh, he was the one that came to Ohio State. DSG, I couldn't have put it no better. And I've been saying that all along. I looked at a Lindy's magazine for the draft. Out of all the quarterbacks that I just named, Jalen Milroe had the fastest 40 out of everybody. And I want to say the one that was the closest to him as far as speed was concerned, I want to say it was Jackson Dart. I think that's who it was. I can't remember. I think it was Jackson Dart. But the point that I'm making is that there are still qualified, capable quarterbacks. They may not be to your liking, but guess what? These guys are good. These guys are good. To say that a person is bum, to say that a guy is bum, but yet and still the NFL has invited them to come to Green Bay, or a team has looked at them, or they had a pro day and this, that, and the third, to say that they're a bum, just because you don't like them, it doesn't mean they're a bum. I can understand if a person doesn't care for a quarterback, but calling them a bum, they was down in Milroe. They were down in, basically last night, people were down in Milroe and Shedeur. And after a while, it was a bad Shedeur Sanders thing. But all I'm saying is you've got 9 quarterbacks, 9 known quarterbacks still on the board. Piano Man being honest with you. And then I'm going to throw you 3 running backs at you right quick that are on the board. Still on the board. TreVeyon Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, and Trevor Etienne. 3 quality running backs. That's 12 players. 12 quality players. And everybody that I just named are all starters. Hey, Dr. Crystal, good to see you. You got that right. It's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real interesting, Dr. Crystal. That's why I'm doing this right quick. I'm just going to only be on here for a few minutes. But I just had to go back through and just, you still in the quarterbacks, Dr. Crystal, check this out. Jalen Milroe, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Show, Riley Leonard, Quinn Ewers, Will Howard, Curtis Rourke, Kyle McCord. 9 quarterbacks that are still on the board. And the whole world is mostly focused on Shedeur. Most of the sporting world is focused on Shedeur. After a while, Jalen Milroe was a forgotten factor. Hey, Susan. Roll Tide, Susan. Good to see you. 9 quarterbacks. And check this out, Dr. Crystal and Susan. TreVeyon, and here's the running backs. This is 3 out of, I don't know. I have to pull out my little book here. But here's 3. TreVeyon Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, and Trevor Etienne. 3 of them. 3 quality running backs. 3 of them haven't went off the board. Still there. And like I said, I could see it if these guys were not starters. These were all starters. 12 players that was starting still on the board. Round 1 was for defense. Yes, Dr. Crystal, I'm going to throw something else. Round 1 was for defense, and round 1 was also for line play. Most of the line in one facet or another. But you're exactly right. Round 1 was for defense. Now tonight it's going to be I'm going old school right here. Tonight it's going to be a knockdown drag out tonight because you're going to see some trading. It's already been predicted. The Browns have 2 of the first 4 picks tonight. A quarterback will be picked. And let me tell you something, Dwight, and that's true. But let me tell you how the strategy works. And see, I've been watching the draft all this time and everything. As you can tell, I got my little Pittsburgh stuff on now. Franco Harris, rest in peace, my brother. But I'm going to tell you like this. With that Cleveland Browns situation, and I don't want to get on that rant. I'm trying to keep this draft. I'm just trying to keep this draft appropriate and the subject matter. But here we go. The reason that I am very curious about the Browns pick, Dr. Crystal, we ain't Dr. Crystal, I'm going to ban you now. You better stop. I'm going to ban you. I'm going to put you in timeout, and you will not get a snack, Dr. Crystal. You will not get a snack. You will not get a snack. I'm going to put you on the big screen, Dr. Crystal. Wait a minute. She getting banned tonight. You getting banned. You getting banned. You are getting banned. I'm going to put you in timeout. Put me in timeout, sister. But let me tell you, I am most interested in this Cleveland Browns pick, especially when it comes down to quarterback, because let me tell you why. You still got Deshaun Watson. It's still a Jameson. Isn't Jameis Winston there too? You still got that going. Now, I'm going to say this, So Dr. Crystal, no, don't quit. Come on back. I'm just picking at you. But Dr. Crystal, would you agree if I say this? Now, this is just Wendell speaking. If I'm just gonna stick with Jalen, and this is what I told somebody today. If is Winston at the Giants? I thought Russell was at the Giants. It could be. It could be. I know Russell Wilson is at the Giants, and I know Justin Fields is at the Jets. So Pittsburgh basically just have Mason Rudolph. But let me stick with these Cleveland Browns for just a second. To me, you send a rookie right now, a quarterback to Cleveland, and expect him to be ready this year, it's going to be almost the death of his NFL career. Okay, he's at the Giants. Okay, he's at the Giants. Cool, fine. So Deshaun Watson is still with Cleveland, right? I'm telling you now, whomever goes to Cleveland better be ready to play, unless they bring in a veteran who has proven himself and they have the right pieces around them. I'm telling you now, I'm just saying that Cleveland is one of those franchises. They're not like they used to be. That dog pound mentality that they used to have, and everything, that era of Cleveland is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. That mentality of where they had this awesome defense. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like it used to be. Yeah, and he had ACL surgery, and there's my problem. That's part of my problem. And got all that kind of. But DSG, Dr. Crystal, they got a dozen black cats running around now. Let me be quiet. I have a problem. I just have a problem. I have a problem, but I just want to keep this in the draft. And when we come back together again, y'all remind me to talk about what my problem with Deshaun Watson is. I give you that much. When we come back, I want you all to remind me to talk about Piano Man's problem with Deshaun Watson. Oh, let me tell you something, Dwight. Ebony and I have already had this talk. She knows. I think if she doesn't, I'll kindly remind her of what my problem is. So somebody please remind me that once this draft is over and we come back together again, please remind me to tell you what Piano Man's problem with Deshaun Watson is, and you're going to be surprised at how I feel. But tonight's draft is going to be interesting. So Cleveland is first on the clock tonight. Where are they going? What are they going to address here? And I'm just going to go on. I'm just going to put it on out there. My prayer is I hope they don't draft Milroe. And I'm not saying it from a standpoint of because I don't want to see him drafted. I don't want to see Milroe go there. I don't want to see him go there. I'm being honest with y'all. I don't want to see him go there. But Dr. Crystal, you said something earlier, dear. They gonna crash out if Milroe goes before Shedeur Sanders. That internet is gonna be most unkind tonight. So when we get off of here, everybody turn to wherever your draft is being shown. Everybody turn. Get your snacks ready, folks. Get your popcorn ready, because it's going to be awesome. The very first pick, I believe, coming out the gate. Now, it's been projected now. Dwight, like I said, please remind me to talk to y'all about my Deshaun Watson issue. When all this is over, Sunday, everything is over, we're going to talk about this, okay? So it's going to be interesting coming out of the gate tonight. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock, like as we speak. What are we going to do? What's going to happen? Will Milroe go? Will Sanders go? Or will it be Dylan Gabriel? Or will it be another position? We don't know. We don't know. But I'm telling you all now that the Cleveland Browns I think they're going to set the tone of how this draft is going to go. Now, Piano Man knows every team is going to draft according to whatever they need. But something was said last night that how can I put this? Something was said last night by one of the analysts when they drafted, and that was real cool what Philly did to get Jahad Campbell. Even though they switched spots, but that was real cool. And someone said that Philly did what they did to keep someone else from getting Jahad Campbell. There were a lot of moving parts because in my little humble, unsolicited opinion, I believe a whole lot of teams had their eye on Campbell. But like something Dwight said in the chat last night, and one of them talked about it again today, is that a money issue comes up too. So what do you need? What are you going to get for your money? Lot of business has to be worked out in that. But all I know is this, and Jahad Campbell said it best, the rich just got richer last night. They did. Because I was predicting or I was projecting Campbell to go to Detroit. That's where I was projecting him to go, but Detroit did okay too. But tonight is going to be interesting. Now I want to say this. Hats off and my deepest condolences to Derek Harmon, I think that's his name, the young man that Pittsburgh drafted. By the time he got to the hospital to tell his mom that he had been drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, his mom passed away. And the internet can be so unkind. But my prayer is to that young man, to Mr. Derek. We're praying for you. If just by chance you run across this, and just know that I'm a Pittsburgh fan. And man, my heart is with you, and I'm praying for you. Because for those of us that has ever lost a parent, and death has claimed both of mine. And the month of May is not one of my favorite months because both of my parents passed away in the month of May. So I understand how he feels. But my prayer is with him. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going, even though I wanted to see either Jalen get it or even Shedeur get it. But for them to pick that young man up, for Pittsburgh to pick that young man up in a trying hour like that, you have my utmost respect. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to find me his jersey. I'm going to purchase it, and that's going to be the end of that. He has my undying support because, like Dr. Chris she's just said, that's a painful thing, and it is. And for those of you that you still have your parents, I want to encourage you: love on them, love on them, love on them. I'm telling you now, love on them, because you never get over it. You just adjust. I got you, Dr. Crystal. I understand. I understand. I smile, but my mom passed away the day before Mother's Day. And that it messes with your mind. So I'm just asking everyone to continue to keep Derek Harmon, I think that's his name, in prayer. And Dr. Crystal, I understand and continually praying for you. Continually praying for you. Don't know how long ago it was. It doesn't matter. But what matters is that a parent. And so let's keep him in mind. But I'm going, matter of fact, when I get off of here and everything, I'm going to look and see, has his jersey, has his jersey made it yet? Has his jersey, and I'm going to order one. And I'm going to order one. But Dr. Crystal said, but God, y'all, you got that right. Because Dr. Crystal, the part that I hadn't told you all yet, I had to eulogize my mom. Yeah. I'm not going to tell the other part of that story, because if one of my sons is listening, he go kill me if I tell y'all the other part. But I had to eulogize my mom. And that was not easy to do. But my sister told me, she said, okay, when Mama passed away and we all standing there, and she said, okay, Wendell, dry your tears because you got a sermon to preach. I said, say what? She said, yeah, you're going to eulogize Mama. I hear you, Dwight. See, so it's a lot of us that have been there in one capacity or another. And I'm not meaning to make this sad, but I'm meaning to make it real, that this stuff is a reality, that at the height of this young man's night, he experienced a low, and that was his mom passing away. I understand, my brother. I understand. So we all have something in common. And this is why I try to push for unity and harmony and peace and everything, because we all talk about the things that are different, but there are a lot of similarities that we all have. Now look what we all have over here with us. We've all experienced some form of grief in death. And then we turn around here on a happy note. We all run around here singing and DSG and all that kind of stuff and everything, and we can safely say we've experienced the positives and the negatives, the highs and the lows, the good and the bad. But Dr. Crystal put it best: but God. So my prayers for Derek and to the Pittsburgh Steelers family and everything. And I'm going to be ordering his jersey, and I'm going to be sporting that jersey proudly. And Dr. Crystal said, and I was 8 months pregnant. God bless you. But God. See, but we're still smiling as a YouTube family, and we are. We smile, we laugh, and guess what? I'm so glad to be a part of your family, and you all are a part of mine, and we all just gonna keep it a buck. That's what we're gonna do. And anything other than that, we don't want to hear it. But if we can't uplift each other, I'm sure not gonna put you down. If I can't uplift you, then I'm not doing my job. But I'm thankful. So tonight, y'all, you know what? Forget all that. Let me pull out my little book here. Let me tell you something. Check this out. So, so here we go. Let me go back to the quarterbacks right quick. So I named you all the quarterbacks. Now, mind you, this is coming out of Lindy's. This is Lindy's now. This is Lindy's. And now watch this. Uh, Now, here we go. The big three from the quarterbacks to watch, according to Lindy, is going to be the sleeper will be Will Howard. Reason being, national champions, Ohio State. He left Kansas and came to Ohio State. Okay. And if you go back and you look back on it, Will Howard, to a certain degree, a lot of the media was putting him as the weak link in the chain, according to the offense. But Will Howard held them together. The quarterback that they are looking to be a disappointment is one that they've been hollering about all year. Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, according to Lindy's. He's the quarterback that could disappoint. And the small school stud is going to be Mark Gronkowski from South Dakota State. So you've got a lot of players still. This is quarterback room now. You've got a lot of players that's still not even being talked about, and everybody's focused basically on Shedeur. Dr. Crystal, I'm gonna put you on the big screen again. And I'm glad you brought that up, is because Jackson Dart is Trevor Lawrence all over. I'm not gonna focus on Jackson Dart. Let's focus on Trevor Lawrence for a minute. Why do you really think that Jacksonville did what they did? And I hope and pray that Travis Hunter has his head on a swivel. Because that going both ways thing, the way he did in college, is not going to work like that in the pros. And he's going to see that. He's going to see that. Oh, yeah, he's going to have some packages on both sides of the ball. But there's going to be a place where they're going to play him the majority of the time. But yes, Dr. Crystal, Trevor Lawrence was successful when he was at Clemson because of the pieces that he had around him and the defense that was on the field at that time. But Clemson was no different then than Georgia is now. And I've been and told Georgia fans, you won your two and y'all gone. You're through. It'll be a minute before Georgia feels a team like that again. They focus on Sanders, what Susan says, because of the dislike for his dad, for one. That's true. This is true. But I said a few minutes ago, but another thing is, Susan and Dr. Crystal, and to each one of you, a lot of people get character and persona mixed up. They forget that. They get it confused. A lot of people are trying to say, because if you go back and listen to the media a little bit, a lot of them are talking about Shedeur's character and saying he's too cocky and he's this. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's confident. And that's something that has been taught to him. They call him arrogant. He's not. When Deion told them one day in a press conference, what makes you think that your opinion of me bothers me? I'm going to deal with that in a minute, Dwight. I hadn't thought of it, but I'm going to deal with that in a minute. And see, and that's what Deion has taught his children. They don't think that they're better than everybody. They're just confident in the skin that they're in. That's all. And if you go in thinking, this is why they had trouble with LeVar Ball. At first, I couldn't understand LeVar Ball until I had to sit down and listen to him. LeVar Ball is no different than any other father that wants to see his child succeed. Now, like we had a talk today in our chat, like I said, it's a double standard. Yes, you know what? You're right, Dr. Crystal. I forgot about that. Yes, they traded Mac Jones to the 49ers. They sent him to the 49ers. That was just a few weeks ago, right, Dr. Crystal? That was a few weeks ago. They sure did. They sent him to they sent him there. They sure did. Now I'm gonna say this, but staying in that same vein, if Brock Purdy ain't careful, that's who's gonna sneak up on and surprise everybody. Because Mac Jones is in the right system over there for his style of play. He don't have to do no heroics. He just have to play within the system. He just has to play within the system. That's all Mac Jones has to do. And if Brock Purdy, I'm gonna show you how serious it is. Let Brock Purdy fool around and either have a bad game or sustain some type of injury, and he's gone for a significant amount of time. Mac Jones has that type of personality that he'll come up out of nowhere. And if you're a spade player, you'll understand what I mean by he's sitting in the cut. Mac Jones, one of them dudes to sit in the cut. Now, if Belichick had played it right, Mac Jones was going to lead the Patriots back to where they needed to be. He was never, ever going to be Tom Brady, but he would have been the guy to play within the system and distribute that ball to where it needed to be. All they needed to do, the Patriots, all they needed to do was put the weapons there and put the pieces there. That's all they needed to do. Now, for them to have that harebrained idea of getting rid of the pieces, how does a man go from making all pro in his rookie year to looking like he can't play the next one? Just being honest with y'all. And that's what happened with Mac Jones. Mac Jones got down there Mac Jones got down there and got to Jacksonville, and when Trevor Lawrence had to come out, Mac Jones did the doggone thing. You're serious now. Now he's in San Fran. Let Purdy fool around there and have some bad games. And they bring Mac Jones in there. He's going to do just like he did when Tua got hurt at Bama, and he played within the system. One thing I will say about Mac Jones, that dude can distribute a football. He plays within the system. He's not trying to play hero ball. That's what I call it. He's not trying to go deep all the time. Those plays where he's doing those mid-range passes, them bad boys look like a stroke of beauty. And when he delivers that ball, is dead on the money, and them cats take it on up the road. Now, fool around, Brock Purdy. I'm giving you a word of warning. If you're listening to this, let me find out that Mac Jones took your spot. Let me find out. I'm gonna give you a hard way to go. Because exactly, Dr. Crystal, he is sneaky good. He's sneaky good. He's underrated. So we got all these guys here that we need to watch. Like I said, you got 9 quarterbacks, really 10 with Gronkowski from South Dakota State. That's 10 known. We don't know everybody that's even being looked at right about now. So all I'm saying is that it's about to get interesting tonight. From here all the way, from these next rounds are going to be interesting. Susan said, we found that out about Mac and Bama. Exactly. Tua got hurt. When Tua got hurt, put Mac in, that was all she wrote. Then Mac came back the next year, and the rest is history. And you had Mac and you had Bryce Young at the same time. Dr. Crystal says, I'm kind of hoping Miro goes to the Steelers or the Saints. Let me tell you what I'm hoping that it's the Steelers, but then I heard today, wait a minute, hold up. I heard today, as far as the Steelers go, here we go. The Steelers are also looking at, here it is. Pittsburgh Steelers are the favorites to draft Florida defensive tackle Desmond Watson. 6'5", 464 pounds. Big boy. Serious. Big boy. Now, Dwight, I'm going to put you on the big screen, bro. You can teach Miro to pass like the other guys, but you can't teach them guys to be athletic like Miro. I'm going to let you sit there, and everybody just marinate in that for a minute. Because that's the whole hold up right there. That's the knock on Jalen. That passing part. So which leads me to this, Dr. Crystal. I hope he goes to the Steelers too. But let me tell you let me give you this, Dr. Crystal. Let's picture Jalen with McVay and the Rams. How that work? And he learning from Matthew Stafford. Tell me what you think, Dr. Crystal. You too, Dwight. Any of y'all. Tell me what you think. Oh, DSG, you bad, you jumped off subject. No, bro, you never off subject here. Everything could go on the table. Jalen Milroe with the Rams with Matthew Stafford, learning from him. Because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Stafford is not a bad quarterback. He's just at a stage in his life now in his football career where he's on the downside of it. Now, they bring in Milroe and teach Milroe how to read and process properly. All possibility. And another place they were talking about Milroe could possibly end up. And I just said, and I said, we'll see. They were talking about sending, that there's a possibility that Milroe could also go to the Raiders. So you sit down and sort of think about it for a minute. You got Ashton Jeanty and Milroe. You got 2 top-notch runners, one running back, the other one quarterback. But the problem with that is, who will Milroe learn from? I'm not knocking Geno Smith. I will never knock Geno. But not for learning purposes. Dr. Crystal said, I can see that, but it's something about McVay that I'm not feeling. I don't know what that feeling is. I don't know either. Dr. Crystal, I kind of feel you on that, but I can also see more of the positives of it than the negatives. But with the Steelers, now here we go. Let me go back to the Steelers for a minute. That's my squad. My problem with the Steelers is that all we have now is Mason Rudolph. With Justin Fields gone and Russell Wilson gone, and Aaron Rodgers is still out there, we'll see. We'll see. That's why I don't want to see Milroe go somewhere and his career be over by the time he's 25. I don't want to see that for him. He's too good of a talent. And it's like Dwight said, none of them, and out of all the quarterbacks that I named, and even the 3 running backs of Trayvon Henderson, Judkins, and Trevor Etienne, even those 3 running backs, they don't have the athleticism that Milroe has. Now, don't get me wrong. When all those guys are in open space, they're all hard to bring down. But Milroe, like what they were saying, and we're going to get ready to go because it's getting ready to start. Milroe, when you try to go and tackle him, Milroe's that dude, he's an angles guy. And he knows how to position himself to a point to where you can't, once he gets to step on you, it's over. It's over. So it's about to be interesting. But I just wanted to come on here just to say, everybody, there are 9 quarterbacks still on the board. I'm ready to see who's going where. And I just named you 3 running backs. I have time to get off into everything else. But Trayvon Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, Trevor Etienne are just 3 of the running backs. And they were top-notch quality running backs. So I wish that whoever your team is, may your team get who you hoping for. Support them regardless. Let's not fall out about it. And we're going to have fun. And the Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I'll be back on here tomorrow. But I think that the draft starts earlier tomorrow. Yeah, that Auburn guy still trying to catch Milroe. Oh, he sure is. That Auburn guy still trying to catch him, and LSU still trying to catch him. LSU ain't caught him in 2 years. LSU still trying to catch him. So it's going to be interesting. But thank y'all for coming on. Just these last few minutes. I'm getting ready to go in here, get all my snacks together and everything, and fix me some Kool-Aid and all that good stuff, and we gonna see. And I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably come back on here tomorrow. But if this thing gets real interesting, think it not strange if Piano Man comes back on here tonight, because I got a feeling, a funny feeling, and a sneaky suspicion that this round 2 tonight is going to be lights out, and a little bit, and I think they said, and a little bit of round 3 will come tonight as well. I think that's what they said. So we'll see how it goes. But I thank everybody for coming, and everything. Continue to love on each other, and continue to embrace each other, and continue to be there for each other. And what's up? Now you see, the little brother always come at the end when all the food get gone. Now we got to recook again. But what's up, Gary? No, but Gary, don't think it's strange if I come back up in here a little bit later on. Thank you, Dr. Crystal. Thank you, sis, and all that good stuff. And we're going to get ready to hop on, and let's see what the night holds. So listen, everybody, just do your thing. Dr. Crystal, wait a minute. You're gonna be the last one, Dr. Crystal. Here we go. This is about to be must-see TV. This is about to be must-see TV. So what I'll do is let me see how this is going, and it's gonna be okay. And let me see how this is going, and then I might hop back on here and say, did you see that? So, all right, everybody, it is 5 till the hour. Y'all have a great night. And if, like I said, if this gets interesting, like Dr. Crystal said, about to be must-see TV, let's do the doggone thing and let's talk about it. And we gonna tear the internet up. All right, y'all. Love y'all. And as we always say, I'll see you in the long run, and roll tide. Let's get the ESPN. I'm out.